Committee on Public Works and Transportation will convene. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Ponte?
Here.
Counselor Reposo?
Here.
Chair Pereira? Oh, Chair Dion, my bad, sorry.
Here. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Do we have any citizens' input? I think I probably,
Motion to
in line
approve.
with that, where we had someone at the last meeting who was objecting to this curb cut. They submitted a letter withdrawing their complaint, so I want to read that, put that into the record. Okay. The chair of the Committee on Public Works and Transportation is trying to schedule a meeting to discuss the curb removal application that was referred for 312 Mohawk Drive. I left a voicemail for you, but wanted to follow up with an email as well. Please reach out. Hopefully you can forward this to the chair and it could serve as my response. My objection was that it appeared the parking expansion would be for trucks and construction equipment. Since the council meeting during which this was discussed, the construction equipment has been removed and the truck traffic has been minimal. Therefore, I have no objection to this driveway expansion. Thank you, Jeremy Yetman. Second on our agenda is the minutes of May 13th,
Motion.
2025.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Number 3 is the order for the curb removal. Mr. Ryan Wardell, 312 Mohawk Drive, Westport, Mass., referred 10/14/25. I don't know if Mr. Wardell is here and would like to come to the table. And I'd also like to ask our city planner and engineer, Mr. Aguirre, to come to the table. Yeah. Good evening.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
If you can just give your names and address for the record.
Ryan Wardell, 312 Mohawk Drive.
And I'm Zoe Shea, 312 Mohawk Drive.
Dan Aguirre, Director of Engineering and Planning.
So, part of the reason I went forward with this meeting is because I know that half the work, we'll call it, has been completed. You did do the circular driveway, you put crushed stone, but now you're looking to complete that. Were you, so obviously, the proper procedure wasn't followed initially, which is kind of what brought us here today.
Correct.
What is your intent moving forward? Because it's a rather large expansion, and it's a rather large area that you want to pave. So moving forward, what are you looking at?
So just to clarify, I wasn't aware initially that I needed a curb cut permit. We went a while back in front of the council for, to get the road accepted by the city. So there was no curb over there as well. It's a loom spot. There's a Cape Cod berm. Maybe a little ignorance on my part, not knowing that I still needed to apply for one. So once I knew that a permit needed to be applied for, I put one in accordingly, and we're here now today. As far as what it's being used for, it's going to be used for a driveway. There's probably 5 or 6 horseshoe driveways in the neighborhood. It mimics my neighbor directly across from me within 4 foot of the aprons, the flare on them. So as far as what I'm doing, it's not anything that is out of the ordinary for the neighborhood. We're just looking to have a bigger opening for our yard, so I can park a truck on the side, still have access to my garage, and not have a car in front of the garage. And that's primarily it.
So when you say a truck, you're speaking like a pickup truck or,
I have a work truck and I have a pickup truck.
okay. I'll open this for the councilors for questions before we pursue this. Councilor Pont?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So In terms of deed restrictions, understanding this location a little bit more, I know that there are some homes that had some deed restrictions in this immediate area. Mr. Aguirre, do you care to speak on that?
Yeah, so this subdivision was approved with some restrictive covenants. One of them being that vehicles for business purposes, size of the house, there were a number of different things, trailers, that I think provide the protection that the neighbor would be comfortable with. Whether that neighbor knows that those restrictions are in place or not, I don't know. But I believe our zoning requirements and these restrictions would at least eliminate any fear, or should eliminate any fear, that the neighbor voiced his concerns about at the meeting, which is that's why I believe we're here, right? So it had gone through my office for so curb opening, driveway opening is the same permit. So people don't understand sometimes when it's not a granite curb, still a driveway, still needs a permit. 16 feet is all you're allowed. So Mr. Wardell did go through that process, went through traffic, and then was approved there, and then we found its way in front of the full council for a public hearing when the opposition came about, which apparently has been resolved.
Right.
It's my understanding that over the last couple of years, you've only bought the home in 22 or 23?
Yeah, 3.5 years.
There's been a lot of work done on the property, to the house, to the land itself, and there may have been construction vehicles parked there for a good part of the duration of that time. It appears that a lot of that work is done, so that's probably why a lot of the trucks and materials are gone, I'm guessing, and that's why the abutting landowner is now satisfied. So we have process that necessarily wasn't followed correctly at the beginning, but probably would have been resolved already if a neighbor hadn't complained. So I think it's just important that the applicant understand that there are restrictions for land use through our zoning ordinance, as well as specific to this real estate, which is a little bit beyond what the normal landowner would have. I think you should acknowledge those things. The amount of asphalt that's being installed, should there be some drainage modification or mitigation proposed, that would be for you to decide. I can't govern something until it gets sent to me to govern.
So it's gone through your office, Mr. Aguirre, already, and did you or did you not sign off on the permit, approve the permit?
So curb and driveway opening permits get processed through my office. I don't have the ability to give comment. It's just reporting the facts. We get an application in, this is what they want to do, it gets sent to traffic. I do not have the ability to give a recommendation one way or the other.
So my position is, and I don't know if this is a common practice or not, but, you know, understanding what Mr. Wardell has done and put into his property, and he's trying to better it, and recognizing that there are some restrictions in place. I personally don't have an issue with moving forward as long as you, as the city engineer, planning department, city engineer, has input on the design and the approval process following the permitting, from my standpoint. I think that's kind of silly personally, and this is something maybe the next council can talk about, filing a resolution that it runs through the planning office, but you don't have an opinion or a say, you just checks a box and you can sign off on it, which totally eliminates the process of going through your office in the first place, because you've got plenty to do. So that's certainly something that this new council should probably discuss through ordinance. But Mr. Aguirre, if as just one councilor, if it's the will of the committee as a body to approve the project, subject to you reviewing and signing off on any permits, would you think that's something that could be attainable and workable from within what you're trying to do, Mr. Wardell?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you intend on obviously following the zoning and the zoning requirements and anything that Mr. Aguirre puts upon you to make sure you follow?
100%.
Okay.
I don't put zoning on anybody.
Not
The
zoning,
building
but
department.
in terms of the design of the driveway.
Yeah.
And making sure that you don't break any of your restrictive covenants, I think is important to recognize.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the coverage process, and, you know, I do a lot of work in the city if downspout chambers are needed and all that good stuff.
It's all
And I
something
think
that you can do.
We're within the parameters, well within the parameters of it.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'll allow my colleague to speak about it, but after the discussion's done, I'd be okay with sending a recommendation to the full council okaying the curb removal, subject to Mr. Aguirre's sign-off, final sign-off, being the last one to sign off on the project, to adhere to all restrictive covenants and any engineering required demands. I'll put that in the form of a
You
motion.
yield? Oh,
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
all right. I'd like to amend it just a tad.
Sure. I
So,
yield.
subject to site plan review and approval for future use,
I'm okay with that.
which would
It
be all in.
accomplishes the same thing essentially.
Yeah. With that, you yield?
Yeah, so just to clarify the motion, I will make a motion to allow the curb, as one counselor, the curb removal to occur, subject to Mr. Aguirre and site plan reviews approval to ensure that they are following all engineering and planning requirements.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you have any discussion or comments you'd like to make?
Sure.
I have, so it would be a motion to adopt the order.
Yes.
Subject to Mr. Aguirre and site plan approval to ensure following all engineering and planning requirements.
Which will be covered under site plan review anyway.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Just, and I know I spoke to you on the phone the other day, but you do have a location where you store your work vehicles and work
Correct.
equipment?
Yes.
Okay, I yield, thank you.
Yeah, I think that was basically that was the main concern when they saw all the vehicles. And I did speak with your father as well, who told me that you had removed a number of trees, and rather than the equipment going back and forth, it was easier, just keep it there during that process. And he acknowledged that the vehicles had been removed, so.
And 90% of our neighbors are fully supportive, just for the record, you know what I mean? It's not like we're trying to be a thorn in anyone's side. We bought the ugliest house in the neighborhood.
You did.
It needed a lot of love, you know? I'm sure you're familiar. So, you know, we're trying to chip away at it within our budget, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no, and it's appreciated, and you know, again, it's just a matter of, a lot of people, as Mr. Aguirre stated, they're not aware of all the rules, all the laws, and you're right. People assume a curb cut means you have to have a curb. Okay, I don't have a curb either, I have a berm.
Right.
So people assume you have to have a curb, and you're not doing anything wrong if you put in a driveway that doesn't have a curb. But now, he's clarified it's curb, driveway.
Right.
So you're probably gonna be helping other people moving forward too.
Hopefully it does.
So,
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any-